Until the day, Tokas out of fate. Keshoshimoshi Pungesha money kilo away. But for now, hey, I slay queen, I slay. Hey, Mulimo Hotel for my foot I convey. Moving like a cartel, money come and you sway. Neta Kono silicone pulling off a nigga. Hey, Uniconi popcorn letting in diggy. Metina the Gucci, Louis no Versace. Ini my share you are that you want get. Me, I'm just checking, sitting and hoping that you come back to me when you stop fighting.
PDK, yeah, teaming up with Blossom, Wanna Love You. This one, especially in my neighborhood, was probably the song for the summer because it was playing everywhere, in every house. Elke kar wat verby ry, elke taxi as jy inklim is net. I can't even say the word, man. My Oshiwambo is a bietjie broken.
Nou kan jy net my mic oopmaak asseblief?
Jou mic is oop al?
Nee, ek kan myself nie hoor nie.
Your headphones is nie.
There you go. Yeah, thank you very much. Now I can hear myself.
Thank you, sir.
So you were saying this song of PDK and who?
And Blossom.
And Blossom?
Do you guys remember Blossom?
Yeah, I was having a... Sorry, good morning everybody. Good morning, Namibia.
No, yeah.
And the world out there. I was with Blossom in early December. I was doing an event and she provided the music. And she gave me a copy of a latest CD. And the song is on.
It's on the album as
well.
Yeah,
it's on the album, yeah. So I have the song, I have the copy. Yeah. Again, Blossom.
Show off.
Yeah, show off.
You know, from the president to the cleaner, you know everybody. Hi, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining us. The A-Team is back. This is the Morning Mix on Informante Radio. Maria as... when does Mariano?
Maria can't make it today.
Where is she? That was the question. Yeah. She's not going to be joining us this morning, but she's going to be back tomorrow. Don't worry. Chicken was January. That's bloemgoede that keep jumping up, and skoolkinders wat nou moet uitgesort word.
So my broer. I think somewhere later in the week we're going to have a chat about it. Maybe on Friday.
Yeah.
Because I think school starts on Monday.
On the 15th, okay?
Yeah, I think the 15th.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I think it's probably Monday. So yeah, we'll have it. We must have a chat about that because my wife took the liberty yesterday of going into town and to go and sort out the stationery and skooldrag.
Ja, dat is die ander ding. Die ry no, die skooldrag is klaar. Jy sou gaan kyk by wie like,
boundaries. Masata. Makosa Marina.
Oh man, back to school. Yeah, we're gonna have that conversation a bit later on in the week. I'm sure some of you are already stressing about those things. Waar vanaf kom die geld en die geld en die geld en die ding en die ding. And okay, no, it's fine. Let me leave it for the conversation.
Yeah.
There's something that was happening there at home. Anyway, we're going to touch a little bit on some international news. Of course, there is a story that it's impossible for you to have missed it because it is basically making the rounds everywhere after America's attack on the Iraqi general that took out the Iranian general. In Iraq.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Of course, the situation seems a bit calm. I guess it's also because the Iranians were busy going through their mourning process, laying Soleimani to rest.
Yeah. He's going to be laid to rest today.
Today.
Yeah.
Today's the funeral. Yeah, but then of course there have been statements coming out of Iran and what they call proxies, so let's say the Hezbollahs and all these little terrorist cells around the Middle East that are controlled by
so-called terrorists.
Yes, so-called
freedom fighters for others, terrorists for America.
Of course. If you don't know, what is his name? Khatar. What is his name?
Who is this now?
Soleimani. Everybody
Yeah.
is calling him by the surname, but
Oh.
but his first name. But he was basically one of the guys who was really supporting some of these groups. Whether it's freedom fighters or terrorists, whatever you want to call them.
Hezbollah.
So it has
Especially.
sparked a lot of fury around the region. Even a couple of weeks ago, I think just a week or a couple of days before the strike, there were anti-government protests.
Oh, yeah.
And now
Yeah.
there are anti-American protests. It was like, no, we're standing behind the government and the Americans should lead. But basically, it's created a really volatile situation worldwide.
It has created quite a volatile situation worldwide. The thing is just for me, Cuba, is that for such a long time, Trump, everything this guy is doing is contrary as to what he promised not to do.
Yep.
In the past, he would chastise Barack Obama. He said that the only way that Barack Obama will get re-elected is if he will attack Iran.
If he goes to war.
If he goes to war.
Yeah.
Obama never did that. He's facing impeachment at the moment.
Trump. He has been impeached already.
Yeah, he's been impeached. It's just that the House impeached him, and that
Senate
needs
trial.
to go to the Senate now.
Yeah. The trial can either the Senate can either acquit him or prosecute basically and remove him from office.
Yeah. Which I do think is unlikely.
Yeah, I also think it's
Yeah. But the thing is, what is good for me is that it bruises his ego, the fact that he's been on trial, and that the House did impeach him. That's it for me. But then again, to come back to what has happened, it's quite a volatile situation in the Middle East at the moment. He has sent some troops down to the Middle East. He did say that he will withdraw all troops from the Middle East. He's sending more troops to the Middle East at the moment. So, the situation is just becoming more and more volatile. The thing is just that the brazen way that this guy, the way he talks, the stuff that he says, he talks about the historical sites of Iran that he will destroy with impunity.
He was
Iraq
threatening war crimes, basically.
Yeah, war crimes. If Iran retaliates, that remains to be seen what happens.
But I think he doesn't fully understand the gravity of the situation, if you ask me. Iran is a nuclear power. Do not forget that.
We're gonna bomb Iran. We're gonna bomb them.
And here's the thing: they don't even have to hit the American homeland to really hurt America. They can hurt American allies like Saudi Arabia, like Israel, who are right there in the region and of course within striking distance. And of course, if they hit Israel, which is also a nuclear power, daar goed net erger deur mekaar.
I just hope, Cubase, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, especially those three, that they don't get sucked into this lie again by the United States.
Like, we have intel.
Yeah. Exactly how George W. Bush sucked them in 2002.
Yep.
To launch the Gulf War or the invasion of Iraq at that specific time, which happened to be a big lie at the end of the day. Because this guy, he says that this was a preemptive strike because they have intelligence that Iran was about to attack their interests.
Yeah.
Up until now, he could not provide any proof.
Yes.
As to this imminent threat of Iran. So,
and by the way, these are the intelligence of agencies that he has been discrediting basically since he came into office.
Hello.
The strategy though, if you kind of follow world politics, US politics, because the Americans generally will not remove a president while he's at war.
Yeah.
And there's an election coming up in November. So I think maybe it might have also been sort of a strategic move and also the timing to sort of change the narrative from the impeachment and the trial that's about to start in the Senate to something else.
Of course.
But then I mean, you have the intelligence that both President Bush and President Obama had ample opportunities to strike and take out Soleimani, but they opted against it because they knew that the consequences would outweigh the benefits, basically.
The self-interest of America. Yeah, we will follow that. That will keep us busy for a while because we can't just talk about fish rot every day.
I get it. That's okay, fish rot.
Yeah.
I haven't smelled it in a while.
Yeah. So it's sort of deflect from what is happening here in our country.
In our country, yes.
But
there is still a lot happening in our country that we can talk about. Of course, it's Namibia. I will never disappoint. The one thing that we did really want to touch on, as far as local news, I guess, it's the whole issue of the use of government property, ministers like government cars and other property, I guess, afforded to them by government by virtue of the positions that they hold.
Yeah, the question that I think I think the discussion today, and we really hope that people can become part of this today, is that what we're discussing today is actually twofold. Is the fact that it seems to me, Q-based, that maybe it's due to the first thing as to what has happened during the whole run-up to this fish rot, that we have two ministers who are in jail at this moment in time.
In prison, not even jail.
Yeah,
jail is for small kids.
Yeah,
prison.
They are in prison at this moment in time because of what has happened with this fish rot saga. It seems to me, Q-based, that after this, Namibians has become so brazen, we have lost our fear to either confront or address or we just don't care. We talk about these issues now.
For the first time, we are willing to openly criticize and try and hold accountable the people in power.
Because the reason why we say that is that in December we had an incident in Henties Bay where our Deputy Minister of SOEs, Honorable Engel Navatisep, he was confronted by some community members of Henties Bay when he rocked up at a fishing spot, or where they basically sell fish, to come and buy fish in his official government vehicle. And the fish was basically, on the left, not the left front seat, maar so daar onder. So, maar die boere vat ook gat. Die boer kom maak net die deur oop. Ja, net daar. Dat is ons teksgeld wat hier so lê. Ja. So that lack of fear or respect, I don't know if we should call it respect or whatever, has completely gone. And maybe it's down to what has happened with the fish rot. People are just not scared to take on a minister.
I feel there should still be certain boundaries. Yeah. Right? Even if you do not respect the person holding the office, you should respect the office.
Yeah.
Because these are the institutions that govern our country.
Yeah.
All right. Now, with that being said, of course, if the person is up to no good, I also feel it's okay to stand up to them and to call these people out, because some of these guys have been sitting and chowing fish for a long time and nobody says anything. So it's just going to keep continuing.
So did the minister ook vis gaan gekoop?
Hoekom gaan nie met die government car?
So the thing is, what has happened now is people, we try to dissect issues here, because was this boy just racist, or was he within his right to confront the minister in abusing a government vehicle?
Okay. Look, I'm sort of on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, very true, eh?
But I feel him driving out to I don't want to say a market, basically.
Yeah, it was a market. It was a fish market.
Yeah, like a fish market, and buying fish is not. It does not amount to abusing government property. It does not amount to. I mean, for all you know, it funny. He's net vanaf first kom gekoop en hy gaan terug. That's not abusing the car. It's just using it. Because I mean, that car has been given to him to use as his personal car for all intents and purposes, right?
Maar die Anna Zaligi, I think she's the deputy minister of health. Sy het cement gaan gelei. Somebody missed.
Oh yeah, I can do that story.
What's the name now?
But now never look for me. I got the ministerial position, right?
Yeah.
To krijg mos nou die pens.
Yeah.
En toe verkoop ek mos nou my polokie mos.
Yeah.
Nou waar moet ek nou die cement gaan lei?
Because I think a year before that we had a situation where we had the parliamentarian Maggie Mensah, where she drove with her government car to Cape Town.
Yes, yes.
And somebody spotted her with the government car in Cape Town. And then we had the deputy minister of health. I don't know why I can't get her name now. I have to Google now. Where then she was caught. Sy was bezig om cement te lei
in die kar.
In die Mercedes-Benz. Ek weet nie hoeveel sakke het sy gelei nie.
Nee, die kar kan nie goed vat nie.
And now we have someone who confronts the deputy minister, Nawati with the abuse of a government vehicle by gaan na die fish market toe en gaan lei tel vis op. So it's quite an issue.
So it's that situation. I'm very uncomfortable with that situation. You don't just walk up to a minister's car and come open the door. I mean, you're creating a situation where these guys will be moving around. I don't want to say fearing for their lives, but I'm sure you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Fearing for their safety, basically.
Yeah.
Hoe kom ek net my car se deur oop? If I keep that hand that you touch my car with, is that okay? You know, even if you feel you are within your rights, even if you can have video fight, but then there's also a line. Two wrongs will not make it right. Just because you feel the minister is wrong in what he's doing doesn't mean you have to also come infringe now on his rights or his privileges or whatever.
Yeah, because I think also the minister made it clear, I think in a statement afterwards, that I mean, it's part of his perks. It's to use his government car for private use. And the thing is just that I'm just saying, for instance, I have a Trusco BMW.
Yes, I was just about to get to that.
Yeah, I have a Trusco BMW, and I use my Trusco BMW for private use. I can drive.
It's a personal car.
It's a personal car. It's a perk that I have with Trusco. And I can drive wherever I feel like driving with the car. But there's a certain level of responsibility attached to it. Now, as ek weet ek gaan Kapaza, dan ry ek met Trusco se kar nie. I take my own car.
Okay.
Verstaan jy?
Hoekom?
Nee, ek soek nie stories nie. So if as ek gaan Kabaza, ek gaan Kabaza met my eie kar.
Okay, so you do it not necessarily because it's just because you don't want I guess the scrutiny that comes with. Kyk, die next staan en drink met Trusco se kar rond.
Ek het nie gesê drink nie, moenie J stories begin nie.
Nee, moenie worry nie.
Wie het gesê drink?
Ons praat nie oor jou nie, ons praat oor jou broer.
But yeah, sê jy gaan chwala nou bietjie of wat ook al. Jy kan nie met Trusco se kar gaan chwala nie. Nou gaan staan die kar daar by Big Sky Wash goede. Met hulle ken dis 'n Trusco BMW.
Dan kom Kap Kalahari nog toe.
Dan kom Kap Kalahari toe daarso. Nee, is alright. Ek sal met my kar, ek sal my vure vang, is alright. Kapino bou.
Maar okay, nou soos die situation nou van die cement.
Okay.
Sal joke like any PM. Let's hope the boss is not listening to
yeah, it's good that he listens. It's really good that if the boss is listening. Cubase, when it comes to my Trusco BMW, I am very particular what I do and what I don't do with the car. Seriously, because ek kan mos nie vullis type toe weggery met die BMW.
Met die BMW, ja.
Daai is moes nog gat vat hy. Nee. You understand? So, but if I'm at Metro, or if I'm in a mall doing groceries, I can do groceries.
Yes, en shop met die kaart.
Ek gaan shop. As ek checkers toe gaan. Ja, as ek checkers toe gaan, because you see the thing is, I think it's just socially acceptable that it is a BMW. I mean, as jy die goed in die boot lei, you put it in the boot. But there's a certain prestige to a GRN number plate. Ek weet nie.
But I think, like, from what I'm hearing, you know, you, especially for you, it's a personal thing. You still have, even though it is your personal car that you have been given to use for whatever you want, you still have the understanding that at the end of the day, it's still not my car.
It's not my car.
So I cannot, as much as, yes, I can do what I want with it, I cannot do what I want with it. Daar moet die limit wees. And maybe some of these guys do not have that... that their train of thought that's not their way of thinking. Hulle net, hey, ons die kar op.
Maar die ding is, broer, you have a situation there, especially after this fish rot scandal, that people are so desensitized at the moment as to government officials, and they just lost their fear for government, and they feel like they can openly say what they feel like towards government, towards how things are done in this country. They just don't care anymore. They just lost their fear for.
I think the elections, more than anything, is what gave many people that kind of freedom to speak.
Yeah.
I remember right after the election to stand gesels with een van my bra. And I'm like, nee, wat jy gevoot? Nee, ek het waar gevoot. It's like, no, vir wie jy gevoot? Nee, ek het vir Swapo gevoot. I'm like, nee. Ek het vir Itula gevoot. He's like, oh, julle sal sien, julle sal sien. You know? And then, you know, after a while, people start realizing, but, you know, it's actually okay to express your opinions in a respectful manner, of course. Don't start infringing on other people's rights and other people's... met jou feeling like, okay, no, ek moet know my opinion voice, or I need to bring my point across and screw everybody else. It doesn't work that way. We can still respectfully disagree and move forward as a nation. But this story met the ministers, I think they need to start being more careful now, because there's a whole lot more scrutiny because of the fish rod case and the things that are still trickling out about the fish rod case.
And the thing is, there should be a code of conduct, I think, that needs to come from the echelons of government that says, okay, gents, from here going forward, this is what you can do, that's what you can do, this is what you can't do, because the image of government needs to be restored in all respects. And I think that is the challenge that we have at the moment in time, because as jy kan in public besluit, man, ek vertel hierdie minister nou klomp nonsense, man. I'm not scared of a minister anymore. Whether you think I'm racist or not racist, ek stel nie belang.
Ek sal vir jou sê wat ek dink.
Ek sal jou sê wat ek dink. You understand? There was, Cubase, I remember, just after independence, I remember this one day, I think it was in 1990. I still remember this, when I saw Prime Minister Hage Geingob for the first time. It was right here in Independence Avenue.
Kaiser Street, soos jy
altyd sê. Kaiser Street. I remember I was, you know, in Independence Avenue, the main branch of Standard Bank, just across his Bank Windhoek. I was standing on the Bank Windhoek side, and Prime Minister Hage Geingob got out of the car going into Standard Bank. It's him. It's Prime Minister Hage Geingob. You know, the mystique around a politician was so big at the time. And you speak with so much respect when you was ook your hand so if you speak to just a minister, any minister, for a very, very, very long time. I remember years ago when President Pohamba when he was still president, I was hosting an event where the ambassador of Nigeria walked up to me, and he was laughing so much because of some of the stuff that I was saying, and I was like sitting with the president, and President Geingob was also there as Prime Minister, and the Founding Father was there, and I've been with them a few times, during the evening, and he watched me, the ambassador of Nigeria. And he comes to me and says, "Hey, Oga, you are in a very fortunate position. In Nigeria, a normal citizen like you will never be able to touch our president like the way you are touching them. Not even a governor, you will be able to get close to a governor the way you." And it's very good, my brothers. It's good that this is happening in Namibia. Now, if I see what has happened now, it's even worse now. Nigerians must come and see this now. People just seem not to have any respect for ministers or whatever. Osgwarini. That's just how it looks like at this moment.
I still feel like we should respect the office, regardless of what you feel for the office bearer. You must respect the office. If you respect the democracy or the democratic systems that we have chosen to go with as a nation, then you must respect those offices. Because how would you feel like if that was your minister, your party's minister or whatever, if it's a partisan thing, or somebody that you are favoring? Never. But iemand anders nou net kom staan in 'n ruk en deure oopmaak en staan in pictures. Is die reggie? It doesn't work that way. Let's check out a few comments here. Sien as bietjie besig vanoggend.
Kom ons hoor wat sê die mense.
Alright, we're going to start from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Let me see. Akuna Usiku. Neville's Nigerian accent is in a Damara accent. You've got it.
Hey, ga speel fair.
As apparently a Nigerian who grew up in Damara land. Or Damara who grew up in Nigeria, I have no idea. Nerina Eugenie September. En dis wat ons nie meer het vir hulle nie. Respect.
Okay.
Yes. Mbutiwa Kahanja. Good morning. Laura Harren's voice. People have not lost their fear. They have not lost their fear. They've lost their respect. Right. Yeah. Nadine. Goeiemôre. Hoe gaan dit met jou?
Agaba.
Nee, maar dit sê Agabe. Agaba dan gesê, hulle mag nie maak soos hulle wil, want hulle betaal mos alleen tax.
Okay, ja.
Pas op, Kalahari stuur grave words. Yeah? Is Ruth Nunu. What is grave words?
Yeah, let us word.
The minister is a person like any other. If you are honorable, you would use. If he was honorable, I guess he would use his own vehicle. Then he most likely also putting petrol in it. We have to look up to these people, and then they do whatever they want to. But look, we may have a problem with this guy using the government vehicle instead of his own. But he's not going outside the rules to do that. It's not like he's breaking a rule. He's allowed to use the car for his own purposes.
No, of course.
So if taking it up with the person themselves, it's kind of screaming into the abyss, if you ask me. If you have an issue with the policy, then we should address the policymakers. Or Okay. Hishevi Hiakaire. So, if I am on official duty in Henties Bay and am traveling back, should I not stop at the market to get myself fish before I proceed? Using and misusing is different. That's exactly the point I was trying to make. That was not a case of abusing. Like for instance, the Mercedes-Benz. If we had given the ministers the Corollas that Benani was talking about, would you still have a problem with them putting cement in the Corolla? Or is it just because it's a Benz one?
I think the issue is because it's a Benz.
Yeah.
Julle boere wat kyk, nee. Los ons minister uit. Ja.
Mutekura
fat one
Banje na Makena.
Yeah.
What they did to the deputy minister was completely wrong. They can't take the law in their own hands and harass him to that extent, right? If they knew something was wrong, then why didn't they go report it to the police instead of harassing the minister? I mean, you can film. and play a reporter like we all do with our phones these days. Paul Willem, die Neville Maniki praat soos a Tamara.
No, ek is mos partly Tamara. It's a, wat so ek praat soos a Tamara?
Neville is a Maniki nie is. Say Maniki daar is lang kal verby. Teresa Ndati, good morning and Happy New Year to you guys. Good morning. Narina Eugene, September. The citizens of Namibia does not pay for the perks at Trusco. Yes, I mean, we understood, but then we were making a parallel because it's also a situation where basically staff are given cars that essentially do not belong to them, but they can use for whatever purpose they require, as long as you're not abusing the vehicle.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yes. Nadine, hoekom Kalahari doen dit dan ons civilians?
Wat praat Nadine?
Frafar.
Nadine, wat praat jy?
I don't understand. Salmitishi Congo, 3 cement bags, Neville. There was 3.
3, nee?
Ja.
Oh, okay.
Sy die stoppiekie gebou voor haar huis. Julle neem maar waarheid is waarheid, sê Ruth. Dankie. Oh, man. In my opinion, it's not only ministers that abuse government properties.
Yeah, of
even
course.
Other officials in government also do the same. Cubase, I know you prefer meat than fish from Shopee.
Ja, herro.
Yes.
Herro.
Of course. Ek sal altyd vir die vlees gaan. Vooral as hy so belief. But
is it not a bit risky to go and upload fish at the fish market in Henties Bay?
In a government car?
Ja, daar waar die boere, kyk die boere is mos harig gat.
Ja, julle klaar ons vir vis IJsland toe gestuur.
Ja, luister. And we'll get to another minister also tomorrow, Bernard Daufiku.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Esau.
Nee, there's not just one Bernard here.
Nadine, los me ek sê jou kry so nie gange. Kama is my skuld laat Cubase nie kan lees nie.
No, wat sê Nadine?
Nee, I don't know. I still don't understand. Okay. Look. Here's the thing, right, Nadine? Ek het die probleem. Even when if you've ever been in a text conversation or WhatsApp or whatever, ek kan nie die woorde afkort nie. I write everything out.
Oh, nou kort sy die goede af.
Yeah, so when people as hulle goede korter maak, dan ken ek nie wat om te lees nie. So
skryf die ding reg uit.
Write like you're writing a message to your grandpa.
Dankie.
Vol uitgeskryf, alles is reg gespel. Right, Lucas Mende. People lost respect for the ministers due to what the ministers have been and what they are doing. All right, you do wrong, you lose our respect. Periods.
Okay.
That is the Ngina Shilongo Tamati Kamati. How can you respect people who steal food from your mouth? Then why do you vote them into the office? Yes, you had a chance to voice your opinion in November last year. Yeah. You could have showed them like, "Hela, luister hier, ons het 'n probleem en sal jy stem nie, maar jy het gestem because you're still happy with the service that they're providing, even though you may not be happy with everything. So you should still afford them that respect." That's what I'm saying. What is he? Nandema Tundu, Happy New Year vakwe tukore. Omburambe. Mekonjo Utini, Happy New Year. I really wish Maria was here for this. Estomich, morning, Happy New Year to you all. And Favor Nangolo, Johnny, White Man Martin. It's so sad. This makes the two of us, my dear. What did Johnny have said? I didn't see his comment. I didn't see a comment from Johnny here.
But Johnny.
Next, Iman had a comment, and the comment started with his name and then went on to say something else.
Okay.
All right. Ephraim Shilongo, so he did say something. I can't see your comment though. But what does term and condition of using government say when it comes to use of government vehicles by politicians? In most cases, public get excited and do funny, stupid things. That's what I was saying. You are basically, it's the wrong person that you are attacking because this person gets the car and he gets the rules and regulations and he's following those rules.
Yeah.
If you are unhappy, you can't come just decide. I mean, then we can all just decide to stop any government vehicle to check. Hallo.
Luister, stop.
Wat maak die kar hier so?
Luister, klim nou uit.
Yes. Like for instance, I remember back here, I can't remember whose administration it was. I think this like government vehicles were not supposed to be on the road after working hours.
Shitty.
Or something like that. I remember something of that nature. I may be wrong. But then we would still see the bakkies and wat, but mense gaan aflei. En soos in die Toeran.
Or the government car.
The government car, yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the ministers, but this technically these cars are not supposed to be on the road. I mean, what are you doing after hours? Wat maak jy sewe?
Ons het 'n paar van hulle ook daar by Herromol goede gesien.
Ja, Herromol, wanneer daar best stop, daar by single quarters by die Kapana, you find them everywhere. So, we can't all just start running up to cars, opening doors to check, hey, wat het julle hier binne kan? Dis ook my kar, ek betaal. We know it's our tax money.
Yeah.
But respect the office.
Kyk, die ding is, kom ek sê vir jou Cubase, because I don't know if you've seen the video of this guy opening up.
I switched off.
It's net full nonsense, G.
Switched off.
Yeah. So I saw the video of this white guy opening up the door of the deputy minister's car, and but you can see he's doing it with so much contempt. Ja, kom kyk hierso, kom kyk. And he opens the door. Kyk daar. That's also bloody tax money that they are wasting here.
It's like, hey, are you even paying tax?
So Deputy Minister Engel takes out a bigger camera from the boot. Regte video camera. And he starts filming these boers. En die boer sê, "Ooh, jy het 'n mooi groot kamera, hè?"
Fighting fire with fire, like that.
Fighting fire with fire. It was really something funny to watch. So it remains. Cubase, I tell you, I remember years ago when I had the opportunity to invest in property in Henties Bay. It was around 2003, 2004. Whether I wanted to invest in property in either Swakopmund or in Henties Bay.
Henties, yeah.
I drove down to Henties Bay and now this town has a stigma of racism around it.
That's why I've never been to Henties Bay. I don't even know what it is.
And I tell you, it was two things that kept me from buying property in Henties Bay. The one was my fear of racism, because they say, during festive periods, Henties Bay, you don't want to be around there. This is just stereotype.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's true or not true, but obviously I bought into the stereotype. Yes. I said, okay, laat die boere toch maar net daar bly. Laat hy toch maar Swakop toe gaan.
Kom ek gaan na ons Swakop toe.
So I invested in property in Swakopmund rather, and not in Henties Bay. And obviously also that road between Henties Bay and Swakopmund just scared the daylights out of me, because it's a very salty, snotty road. And one of the biggest accidents that we had in the last couple of years also happened on that road.
On that road, yeah.
So, but because of the stereotype, I mean, white people have certain stereotypes about Karatura, that they don't go into Karatura because they think it's dangerous.
Yes.
Because until you take them there and say, nee, Johan, kom saam Karatura toe, kom ek gaan wys jou. It's safe, and you take them to spots where they really like going to. Yes. En sê, ja, wragtig, Neville, ek het nou wragtig geniet in Karatura. For that same reason, I have certain stereotypes about Henties Bay. For many years, even before Bernard Haufiku said that he experienced racism in Henties Bay.
Henties Bay, yeah.
So, now you have a situation where somebody goes and open the door of a minister. Now you wonder, was the principal opening the door, was it related to racism?
But when you saw the video, what did it look like? There was a racist agenda, even the stuff that the guy was saying?
No, he didn't say anything racist, but I'm just saying again, the brazen contempt. The way the door was opened, like, man, ek stel nie belang nie, man.
Look, I still maintain that was wrong. But look, if that was a non-white person
Non-white?
We would be having a
Who's
different
non-white?
conversation.
Who's non-white?
Everybody who's non-white.
Hey, white people are non-black. Here,
Just don't Jane Neville.
nogal non-white. I'm not non-white.
Yeah, but kijk, if it was
I'm black.
I said that Damarasus J was. Is that what you want me to say? So it's a different conversation, Khad, and it wouldn't have been that big an issue because this guy just came up and opened the door. But because it's a white person, I think sometimes we also try to lean too much into the whole racism thing. I'm not saying racism does not exist.
Yeah.
Obviously it does not only live in Hentis Bay. There's not an old boer called racism that lives in Hentis Bay.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's everywhere.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just as I say, we buy into the stereotype.
But then here's the thing that we do, right? We encourage the non-blacks. We encourage the non-blacks to take part in our democratic systems and to voice their opinions, but as soon as they do, they're like, you are racist.
Because the thing is, and it's a discussion that I had with some of my white friends the other day, and I say to I said to and funny enough, the guy's name is also Chris, not Chris Jacobi, but it's another Chris, and I said to Chris, you know what? When you as a white man talks about about corruption, the moment a white man talks about corruption, I need to be extremely objective to hear what you are telling me, and in what tone you are telling it to me, for me not to think that you are meaning it in a racist way. Because every time it's very easy for black people, if a white man talks about corruption, we are tired of this bloody corruption in this country because I'm like, are you a racist? Why you only talk about corruption?
Yes, but why?
Why?
So if a white person dislikes something that a black person does, it's racism.
Yeah, that's
they're supposed to just love everything that we do. It's difficult.
And sometimes that's the subjective emotion that we feel, is that we think it's racism every time. So it's really out there for the public to decide that this specific incident with the deputy minister, whether it was race related or justified to take the minister on, that this is government abuse of vehicles or whatever.
It's just the tensions being so high after the whole fish rod thing that everybody just feels. It's like, hier's ook 'n government car. Kyk, hier is 'n minister. Kyk, jy het miskien nog wat in die kar. Ja, kom kyk. Doesn't work that way, my guy.
Juliet Kavetuna. That's the name.
Wow.
Juliet Kavetuna.
Is the
deputy minister?
The cement.
3 cement sakke. Yeah.
Alright, let's read a few more comments before we wrap things up for today. Chandra Maton, the love I have for you too. Julle maak my oggend elke dag. Baie dankie.
Wie is dit?
Chandra Maton.
Hi Chandra, baie dankie Chandra.
Smitty Meyer, voorspoedige nuwe jaar vir julle almal. If ministers wants to go on holiday, why don't they use their own private cars? So now they go on holiday on our expense.
Wie is hy?
Is Smitty Meyer.
Smitty gaan koop jou eie verpa man.
No, but that is one of the perks of being a minister. You can get to go with this car wherever you want. Jy kan Brandberg gaan ry met jou Mercedes Benz as jy goed genoeg is. Moro Mire from Oakweb, Laval.
Timratse.
Maisa.
Madiske. Kamko.
Nee, Dinge is besig met my. My opa kan dan lees. Okay, wat ek skryf kan dan lees wat ek skryf, kom ek werk maar liewer.
Ja.
Maar anyway, ek sê maar net Kalahari maak dan ons karre se deure oop soos hulle wil.
Oh.
You see, now I understand. Because here's the thing. When the comment comes in and when it gets read, sometimes there's a disconnect with the conversation, so it becomes a bit confusing. That's why I will just courteously ask you all, skryf net die blare goed uit. Kom ek lees.
Lees nog, because I have a story to tell you about Kalahari.
Smale Sebastino, 5 January, dan is dit klaar.
Smale! How?
Simonette Stefanus, this too. What did this to do? Philemon says government cars must be revoked for those that are abusing them with their uncalled activities. But what defines abuse in your terms, I guess? Narina Eugenie September gaan dit oor die veld oor die feit dat 'n wit man of dat dit 'n wit man was wat die deur oopgemaak het of wat?
Dis die vraag.
Yes.
Dis die vraag.
Like, is that the issue here? Wel ek mos weet sê Nadine. Like, look, if you see somebody abusing government property, whether it's a vehicle or some other form of government property, obviously, as a citizen, you are well within your rights to call it out. But then there are also boundaries that you should not cross, because you cannot just go. Imagine if that was like a really high-ranking official, and you just come and open the door, and that security team reacts according to whatever training that they have been given. Then we would be having a whole other issue here. Just because this person is wrong doesn't mean you have to do wrong also. We will also call you out for your wrong as much as we call them out for the wrong that you're pointing out.
Yeah.
That's the point we're trying to make here. Mekonjo Ustini, you two men, you make my morning super cool.
Une.
Jy maak my lag.
Wie is dit?
Mekonjo.
Mekonjo. Om kyk in die moment.
Wait, kom ek soek 'n profile picture. Come on, guys. Traditional names are unisex. It can be a man, it can be a woman.
No, it's very true.
Yeah. So you don't know.
Traditional names are unisex.
Yeah. Andrew Jr. and Desipanda Ushini. Happy New Year. Watching you live all the way from Witbank, Mpumalanga, South Africa. Quite interesting topic. My opinions, ministers, about time to be more careful with government resources. Yes, I think the ministers should take a bit more caution to not sort of incite these things from the public. And the more...
Jy moet ook besluit waar staan jy.
Waar so?
J Cubase. Kom maar, ja. No, these people, they must respect the ministers.
Listen here. Me, I'm
no, draai jy om. But.
Me,
Gaan, man.
I will cut that baby in half. Was it King Solomon?
King Solomon, yes.
I'll cut the baby in half. That's what I do. Like, I'm that objective guy who will view the opinions like, okay, no, I'll do a study. You wanted to tell us a story about Kalahari before we chip?
No. And maybe just to add on to what Nadine was saying, Cubase, a few weeks ago when I came back from Cape Town, I was standing at Grootwinkels. It was late at night. It was probably around 11 o'clock because my brother's got a bar there. So
what, Friday?
Wat is Friday nou?
Was het vrijdag of wat?
Ja, het was een naweek geweest. So,
no, I want exact details.
Hy gaan, man.
Moet nie spraak as op jy skinnery. Praat jy goed reg.
So it was a Friday night.
Yeah.
I'm standing in front of my brother's bar, and Kalahari rocks up there in their Quantum. So they rock up there very slowly. They respectfully get out of the car, and ons staan, ek dink yo vanaand word ek word geklap hierso vanaand. Tigers. Full hierdie warm tigers. So the guys came up to me and it was very dark. And so the guys were like, "Good evening. How are you?" And said, "No, officers, good evening, we are fine." And we are just patrolling the streets. I said, "No, officer, that's good." And so we are just searching for weapons. So this guy tells me to get, against the wall. And I respectfully said, "No, it's good, officer." So I turned around and he patted me down. And after he patted me down, he patted down a few guys there. It was so cool, man. It's the first time in my life that I've been patted down. So they respectfully... They were there for about 10 minutes. They patrolled the whole area there, looking for, open cans of alcohol and stuff like that. And after that, they left. So I was very impressed with how they handled the situation.
Yeah. Interesting comment, Kaiten. Listen to Opa Neville describing 11 as late at night. That's the time we bath to go out. And Jenny's saying, first time tuning in from London. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Now, Neville, you know what they did that Friday night after they left you guys?
Late at night.
Toe ry hulle Soweto toe en hulle gaan maak ander mannetjies wakker.
Nee?
Daar in my area in. Rock up at the house. Knock the door. Knock. You know how they knock also, Mos.
Yeah.
Doof. This guy's open. They go into. They had been partying earlier, so one of the neighbors had.
Ons is moeg.
Say eintlik het 'n phone call gemaak, disturbing the peace. But by the time this guys rocked up, the guys were sleeping in the house. They were sleeping.
Yeah.
Hulle gaan maak almal wakker. If you ask a question, you get a slap. That is the answer you are getting. Ons word almal tigers gegee daar. So oggendlik bel die ons like, "Jong, it's like ek het dan gelos, julle slaap bandoetjie gegaan." It's like, "Nee, die ons het hier so ingekom en boerwy kom gemaak."
So what you are saying? Okay, sorry, Gayton.
Yes.
It was very early at night. So if this happened 2-3 o'clock in the morning, miskien sal ons ook tigers gekry het nie. Powie.
Ja. Dis nog net klaar. Wat maak jy nou nog hierso? And the question is, were you having your company BMW when you were standing at the bar at 11 late at night?
No. And I can tell you, because my mother's house is about 30 meters from there. So the car was parked, the BMW was parked in front of my mother's house, and I walked to Grootwinkels. Ja.
Jy gaan parkeer hier.
Gaan parkeer hier daar soos nie.
I learned in high school you don't park your car in front of the club unless you want to lose your windows.
Dankie.
Jy parkeer daar uitkom. It's net op your car. All right, guys, we gotta go, man. We are already in Meneer Kaufman's time.
But this was an interesting discussion.
It was interesting.
People should still obviously view the discussion and obviously comment throughout the day.
Yeah,
Just
and add your comments. I'm sure Maria will be chipping in with her comments as well. So
that's all.
Yeah,
that's all.
We're going to be back tomorrow. Make sure you do not miss it. In the mix, Suka is up next with Hannes Kaufman. We've got Tate Nawanis also joining us a bit later on.
Yeah, we're getting slowly into.
Die jaar begin nou, ja. Smeergrappe. Dat is meer van die, dat is niemand by die kantoor, jy moet ook gaan of moet net sit. Natasha, I hope you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are here. Enjoy the rest of the Tuesday.
The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins,